Hey, before we start, I want to give a massive shout out to Frog Froxen for following me on Twitter. You can get a potential shout out as well. To do so, please do follow me on Twitter at the rate NLP. Link is in the description, the first line of it. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so it actually came to me as a surprise when I got to know that right after WrestleMania Backlash, they were not going to do Money in the Bank, but Hell in a Cell. So WWE is planning Hell in a Cell in the middle of June, which is weird because this company has always done Hell in a Cell around October or September. So this is weird, but it makes sense actually, because not only can they bring back crowds, the first pay-per-view back would be Money in the Bank, which is always guaranteed to have high octane action. People jumping off ladders is always fun to see. But furthermore, Hell in a Cell is a horrible viewing experience for any audience sitting there. So to get it out of the way is really good thing to do. So I have a couple of suggestions where they can lead with the Hell in a Cell matches. Here are 10 potential Hell in a Cell matches that we can see at Hell in a Cell 2021. So, in all honesty, I have about 10 suggestions, but all of them are for the World Championship. I really don't want to see Hell in a Cell for any other feud going on right now, because I don't think they require it, to be honest. But yeah, so I have 2 suggestions for the Raw Women's Championship, 2 suggestions for the Universal Championship, and 3 suggestions for the WWE Championship as well as the SmackDown Women's Championship. Speaking of the SmackDown Women's Championship, let's get right into it with my first suggestion, Bayley versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The match writes itself, right? Bianca Belair sort of got a fluke pin on Bayley at WrestleMania Backlash, and Bayley needs another match. And even though it does not need Hell in a Cell as a stipulation, so there exists a pay-per-view that has to have matches like that. So why not just throw these 2 women in the cell and just tell them to go kill each other? It will be a fun match, and I think they have more than enough ability to deliver. My second pitch is, it's a little bit different, but I think they should have Sasha Banks back and rerun Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks inside Hell in a Cell. Because I think this feud, starting all the way from Royal Rumble, is a feud that sort of needs to end at Hell in a Cell. I think that'll be a good way to go forward. Hell in a Cell, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Sasha proving why she is the MVP of the women's division. Just she knows the Hell in a Cell structure more than anyone in this company. I think she's contested in every single one. I might be wrong, but she knows that structure more than anyone in the women's division, and she shows it. But Bianca just barely pulls off the win. Barely though. And my third suggestion, throw all 3 of these women in the Hell in a Cell structure and just tell them to have fun. I honestly think that Hell in a Cell, it being triple threat, would make it interesting again, and these 3 women deserve the opportunity to face each other because they're all phenomenal athletes. And SmackDown right now is being carried by these 3 women, especially the women's division, and Sasha isn't around right now, but what a way for her to get back and compete at Hell in a Cell, a structure she knows way too well. Alright, now let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship, and these are very 2 similar suggestions. First of all, let's talk about the one I know they're gonna be doing, not necessarily inside Hell in a Cell, but So, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley Raw Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell. If you think about it, this sort of makes sense, right? First of all, Rhea and Charlotte had a little bit of a competition going on at Survivor Series when they were a part of Raw vs SmackDown vs NXT in 2019. Then Charlotte defeated Rhea at 2020 WrestleMania 36, and then Rhea Ripley just retained her title, pinning Asuka instead of Charlotte. So they have so much history together. Why not throw them in the Hell in a Cell structure and just tell them to find the winner themselves? No outside interference, nothing of the sorts, just them having fun, killing each other again. I just want people to kill each other inside Hell in a Cell because that's what it used to be. And yeah, Rhea Ripley maybe wins, or maybe I would suggest Charlotte winning. Maybe Rhea can win the championship back at SummerSlam. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, that would be the first suggestion. And the second suggestion is something I think they should do. Put all 3 of these women inside Hell in a Cell. Again, triple threat matches are awesome, and I really think that the WrestleMania Backlash match was really good, really, really good. And if given current circumstances, I think this match can even steal the show. It was such a good match, and Hell in a Cell is a structure that I think will be better with three people inside, just chaotic stuff going all the time. That'll be great. So, second suggestion, none other than a triple threat between the three horsewomen of Monday Night Raw right now: Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair. Let's get on with the WWE Championship Suggestions. Number one, I honestly think they're going to do this, and well, it's been confirmed they're going to do this. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. This is probably the least one I'm interested in. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre in the top championship picture now. Maybe he should go down the card, maybe chase the US Championship. That will be fun. And actually, a match between him and Sheamus would be really, really good for me and everyone watching, because they're really good athletes. We've seen them wrestle at Fastlane. It was a very good match. And secondly, this is a better suggestion in my opinion. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston inside Hell in a Cell. Why? Well, we've seen Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre wrestle enough times already. They've done it in 2020 when they were having the feud over the WWE Championship, that one match where Lana got involved. And then this year they've wrestled 3 times in 3 different matches. It's stupid, but I don't know, man. I sort of don't want to watch it. I really, really don't care about McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley right now. And Kofi Kingston should have been the guy who faced Lashley at Hell in a Cell. But yeah, if we insert him into the main championship picture again, maybe that'll be fun. Maybe that'll be really enjoyable. And I just like triple threat matches inside Hell in a Cell. And speaking of triple threat matches, my third and final suggestion for this year's Hell in a Cell should be Bobby Lashley versus Cedric Alexander versus Shelton Benjamin. Why? Well, look at the history they have together, right? Cedric hates Shelton and he blames Shelton for being kicked out of the Hurt Business. But again, he did get kicked out of the Hurt Business, so he also has that annoyance towards Bobby Lashley. Same goes for Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley just used them to the point where it did not matter to him anymore and just kicked them out. All of these different storylines going on right now, you can just throw them in Hell in a Cell and you know that this is going to be a good match because all 3 wrestlers are pretty decent wrestlers. And yeah, Bobby retains, of course, but they really should be making a bigger deal out of the Hurt Business dissension, right? Jesus Christ. And finally, the Universal Championship picture. First of all, I have 2 suggestions for this because I don't think they should go with anything else. Cesaro is not an option and Jimmy Uso should be the option. So yeah, Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso, just like last year. But if Jimmy quits or loses, he has to fall in line and acknowledge Roman. That is the added stipulation, and Jey Uso is not allowed to be anywhere near the ring. This is just for Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. And Roman wins, unsurprisingly. And I think this would be a great match. Really, really, the last match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns proved that the Usos and Roman can really work really well. So yeah, that is the first suggestion, but probably the second suggestion that makes more sense. And if I had to choose one match to do, this is the one. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, Hell in a Cell. If Jimmy loses, he has to acknowledge Roman. Why? Because, well, fairly enough, back then when Roman tried to recruit Jey, he did not have any henchmen. All he had was Paul Heyman, who, let's face it, is not a wrestler. So he had to step in himself and take care of business, while now he has Jey Uso, and Jey Uso can fight his brother on his behalf and end up beating Jimmy, or maybe Jimmy should beat Jey. That's for another decision. But yeah, if there is one match to do, it's this one. This is the one you should do. Absolutely. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Fancy booking video coming out next. It will be King of the Ring. I have already prepared it. It will be coming out in a few days. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments, and also like, share and subscribe the video. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for a potential shout out at @NLP_YouTube. First link in the description leads you there. Thank you again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.